Sup guys, Naruto 977 here today to do Naruto chapter 682 review. Now in this week's chapter of Naruto, I won't necessarily do a summary for this chapter because given the events that happen in the chapter, I it's not really, I don't think it's imperative for me to really go through step by step with what happens, but I will discuss the major points in this chapter as I go along further in my review. Now, in this week's chapter of Naruto, we see Naruto use what? The sexy harem no jutsu. Out of all the techniques, he chose to use that against Kaguya, the god of the shinobi world, and it gave them the opening that they wanted. Sure, he was able to hit Kaguya after he stunned her for a few seconds, and then him and Sasuke was planning to make the right formation where it seems that they would both need to touch Kaguya at the same time with their seal hands, with the hands on them, one with the sun symbol and one with the moon symbol. It seems that both of them need to touch Kaguya at the same time to activate this sealing technique that would seal her away. But Kaguya did what? Instantly Kaguya teleported to another dimension. She teleported to another dimension and stuck them into this ice, where she then teleported out of the ice and was there outside observing them from inside the ice. So we definitely see the trend of abilities that Kaguya has been using. In fact, it's been stated by Kakashi in this chapter that for a technique like this to happen, where the whole world around you instantly changes, this would be similar to how a genjutsu would operate. The only difference between a genjutsu and this is that this is reality. She literally transported them to another dimension, and we even get to see a full page spread of this new world that they're teleported to. And in this new world, there's also another house, another kind of living quarters on this big mountainous hill. It looks like she teleported them into this icy glacier kind of looking thing. And there's also another house there as well. There was a house back at the lava mountain that she teleported them as well. So that's a pattern that I picked up, that she uses teleportation technique. But apart from that, we haven't really seen Kaguya do anything much more for her to be claimed the god of the shinobi world. I haven't seen any necessarily new techniques. It's just that what would be considered genjutsu by other means is literally reality, it seems, when she jumped from dimension to dimensions. So she does that, and then Black Zetsu told her to, okay, Naruto and Sasuke together can be a nuisance, so let's separate them and pick them off one by one. So she agreed. She went in after Sasuke, picked him up, joined into a dimension, and left him out in this desert. And then that's the end of that chapter. So how this whole situation seems to me so far is that Black Zetsu, he seems to be the real mastermind of everything that is going on. Kaguya, sure, is the god of shinobi world, but unlike Madara or other beings who have had that type of power, we've normally seen them talk. As far as even speaking, when Kaguya talks, she talks a few words at a time and not really forming a complete sentence. So that may be a hint that even though she is the rabbit goddess, the quote-unquote god of the shinobi world in Naruto, she's not very articulate in her speech, which will let you think that she's not very cognitive overall. Even though she's a god, she's not very cognitive, as it seems to me. She doesn't really talk much. That is one. And two, in this chapter, when Black Zetsu gave her the idea for them to pick them off one by one, I mean, wouldn't you think that she would have that idea in her head by herself already? You wouldn't expect her to need Black Zetsu to tell her that, so that she would then agree and then go after Sasuke and pick him off one by one, you know. So she's the one with ton of power. She's the one with the godly abilities, and she is the one that is the real threat. But at the same time, Black Zetsu, on the other hand, who's also on her side, keep that in mind. Black Zetsu, on the other hand, who is also on her side, he doesn't have her power, but he is the one who is like the brains of this operation. And when it was revealed last week, in fact, that Black Zetsu was the quote unquote true mastermind, it really seemed that he was the brains behind this whole operation. Kaguya is the one who has the power, and he's the one who has the brains. He did this whole intricate, yeah, this whole intricate situation of seducing, talking, influencing Madara, infiltrating the Akatsuki, um setting up all these unique situations so that it would inevitably lead up to Madara using infinite Tsukuyomi, and then he would get rid of Madara so that Kaguya could be born. So that's my thoughts on this chapter, right? So far, Kaguya, in my opinion, she's not very cognizant. She's not very cognitive in her abilities. She has a lot of power, but she hasn't displayed her thinking ability or her real wits behind using them like someone who Madara would. Madara was the type of guy who not only had the immense power in all of the ninja world, but he was very analytical. He did very careful attacks. Those other cognitive things that you'd expect from someone to be the god of the shinobi world. But Sasuke and Naruto is now separated, so those lines, anything can happen really, because once Naruto and Sasuke are separated, they can no longer assumingly use the seal to seal her away unless they are brought back together some way somehow, which which I'm thinking, but right now Obito may be the key in that regards. And bringing Naruto and Sasuke together, he may be the key that they need to help steal Kaguya away, if that's really the road that is going down along. So overall, I thought it was an okay chapter of Naruto, and that's it. That's my review. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Sayonara.